I have been waiting rather a long time for this great day. The Song of Songs is a love song, a love poem written by Solomon, addressed to his beloved. Scholars of Judaism, the guardians of the Old Testament, are puzzled at how this beautiful but mildly erotic poem came to be in the Old Testament. Here are a few verses of it. Behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Thine eyes are as doves behind thy veil. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that did lie alongside Mount Gilead. Thy teeth are like a flock of ewes that are newly shorn, whereof every one hath twins, and none is bereaved among them. Thy lips are like a thread of scarlet, and thy mouth is comely. I will get me to the mountain of myrrh and to the hill of frankincense. Thou art all fair, my love, and there is no spot in thee.
Tickie, I give you this ring as a sign of our marriage. With my body I honour you. All that I am I give to you, and all that I have I share with you.
Michael, I receive this ring as a sign of our marriage. With my body I honour you. All that I am I give to you, and all that I have I share with you.
Those whom God has joined together, let no one put asunder.
Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring? Said the piggy, I will. So they took it away and were married the next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon. And hand in hand on the edge of the sand they danced by the light of the moon. The moon. The moon. They danced by the light of the moon.
My contribution to today's readings, which, following the owl's example, I will sing to a small guitar, it's actually a ukulele, is a ballad by William Royce Skaggs, Boz Skaggs, and it's concerned with the importance and joy of finding space in busy lives to be all alone with each other.
Close the window, calm the light, and it will be alright. No need to bother now. Let it out, let it all begin. Learn how to pretend. There we go.
Sooner or later, we begin to understand that love is more than verses on Valentine's and romance in the movies. We begin to know that love is here and now, real and true, the most important thing in our lives. For love is the creator of our favourite memories and the foundation of our fondest dreams.
Bounding over the summer sea, breezes blow, breezes blow. Happy thoughts and fancies free, come and go, come and go. Happy thoughts of love surprise, breezes blow, breezes blow. Fancies of the loved one's eyes, beaming so, beaming so. bounding like a joyous sprite through the foam, like a bird before the night, winging home, winging home. Will they meet us, child and wife? Bud and rose, bud and rose. He who counts the sand of life only knows, only knows.
Now you will feel no rain, for each of you will be shelter to the other. Now you will feel no cold, for each of you will be warmth to the other. Now there is no more loneliness, for each of you will be companion to the other. Now you are two bodies, but there is one life before you. Go now to your dwelling place, to enter into the days of your togetherness. And may your days be good and long upon the earth.
Tickie had another man in her life when she met Michael. George was a cockatoo. Anyway, then when Stutch came along, and this was a bit of an issue because cockatoos are sort of a little bit jealous and a little bit obsessive, and Michael decided that it had to come to an end. He was moving in and it had to come to an end, so Tickie found another home for it. Now, what was it, Tickie? What was that place?
The John Maroney Correctional Centre.
There you go. Very good. Our whole family, I think we're just rapt that Tickie and Michael got married. It's fantastic. And to chuck it in, we get little Fred as well. It's excellent. Thank you very much.
Now, there are those who say this whole thing is a complex joint Fairfax News plot to get Stutch here for the sport orgy that we've had over the last week. In fact, I saw a tweet this week that said, heat wave, good at sport, about to roll a Prime Minister, England is officially Australia now. Tickie has been someone living fearlessly to the beat of her own drum since I first met her. The fact is, we are watching a true life fairy tale. Sam Shepard said of his love with Jessica Lange, it's as though we have answered something in each other that was almost forgotten. A part of me feels brand new and simultaneously reawakened. Tickie would regard words like these as sentimentality. In this unique moment, Tickie, you just have to suck it up.
Until late 2011, I only had a vague impression of this Tickie Fullerton woman. I'd seen Tickie on TV as an investigative journalist on the ABC's Four Corners and the like. This English chick who looked and sounded sort of interesting. And I'd seen her briefly at close quarter in the ABC Bureau in Parliament House in Canberra on budget night, when she popped up her head, as she does. Also saw her briefly close up at a Sydney Swans football match at the SCG. She passed by carrying a young child, perhaps 2 years old. She looked, quite frankly, harried, but she left an impression. When you enter the world of Tickie, you also enter the world of the Fullertons. And first and foremost, it has been a joy to become a father again, this time to Freddie. It was no doubt challenging for Fred to have this Stutch fellow barge into his life of being overmothered by Tickie and her harem of doting nannies, because Stutch world is completely different to that. But Fred is a terrific young boy who turns my union with Tickie into a family. And I love him for both those things, and I'm proud to be his dad. And I look forward I look forward to being his dad as he grows into a fine young man like my two other sons here today, Alex and Harry. Tickie is intelligent and quickly clever. She is funny, warm and caring and generous. In fact, Tickie is a gift. But Tickie, of course, is also a bit wicked. She is opinionated, often loudly so. As we've seen in our 13th century church today, Tickie is a cultural traditionalist, even a conservative. And these days, conservative can be radical, strictly within the cone. Tickie's vows today almost included a promise to obey her new husband. It came down to the wire, and it should be noted that this time Tickie chose discretion. Because she now works for the Murdochs, we've become direct competitors. And we disagree about some things, such as whether LNG export projects should be forced to reserve a set amount of gas for the domestic market. And the answer is, of course not. But what I also love about Tickie is how she strives, and often overstrives, to make things good, to make people around her feel good, and to make me feel good. And one of her main techniques for making people feel good is to generate some fun or to kick up a bit of a stir. And the Tickie upshot is this: in different ways, there are many fools in love with Tickie here today. And I'm just so thankful to be the biggest fool of all in love with her. Thank you so much, my baby.
If someone had said back in the 2000s, the noughties, as I was heading into my 40s, that one Bastille Day, not that far away, I'd be walking up the aisle on my father's arm to the Dam Busters song to tie the knot with a man called Stutch, who I would love so very much. And we'd be not two but three with our young Freddie, our family, and it would be sunny, very sunny, and people, lots of people, would fly around the world to see us all so happy. And Donald Trump would be just down the road, and maybe the red arrows overhead. Honestly, what would I have said? Tell me dream. So, thank you, Pam and Marion, for all your scheming, because here is me at 54 for my dad, my entire family. What a relief that I've finally found this delicious editor-in-chief. And what a man. Yes, I've long been partial to the alpha male, but my Stutch makes all other alphas pale. Yes, roads included. In fact, all these years, I can't believe I've been so deluded. Dad, we are both quite old for this wedding. Half a century of waiting to walk up that aisle and give me away. I bet you never thought you'd see the day. But here we are, off to the church on time, me and my handsome dad riding in that Jaguar. Dad, I don't know how to thank you for this occasion. It's been a home invasion, a pushy bride, and you're so generous with everything. You must be mad. You are the world's best dad. We all walked over the bridge to your beautiful garden revealed, the one you built with Mum from just a field 15 or so years ago. Mum would have loved Stutch, I know. We all miss her. Now, it's no secret that some of the Oxford boys had a bit of a thing for my mother. She, in turn, was very disturbed about me and any Australian lover. or worse, losing me altogether to the arse end of the world. All very uncouth. But for her, the most uncouth at university was one big, hairy-chested Mark Carnegie. She would see some irony that it's been Mark who brought me Ovid and Homer and Iliad and Shakespearean tragedy, and taught big-bowed fishing to Freddie. Thank you, Mark. Finally, to my hot, hot, hot husband. He's so gorgeous, look, and as he says, the thin Elvis is returning. And while he has his Icarat ideological flaws, they're really not concerning. As editors go, he's the best on ground. Also, on the footy field, I have found I'd put his kick up against any in this marquee. And most of all, he's dad to Freddie. At the end of any day, Stutch works back late. He sends 3 short words in a text to his girl. On my way, and 4 kisses. And I feel that all is right with the world, especially now I'm his missus. So, for everything, babe, you are my source. And how do 2 journalists make love? Well, very foolishly, of course. I am a fool in love, but I am no fool to marry Michael Stutchbury. Love you both. Drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of the world to see. Where after
outside of Oxford for Tickie and Stutch's wedding. I'm here with the former Prime Minister of Australia, John Anderson, who's known both of them for a very long time.
I met Tickie in 1996 and she interviewed me about rural policy, and then we got interested in water and she wrote a book and I launched it and we became great mates. And then she met Stutch, and Stutch has done the most incredible job, not just for the Fin Review, but for Australia. But for Australia. Yeah. It's now a much higher quality paper.
And what would your message be for the pair of them and, you know, going ahead with a family, with Freddie?
Well, Tickie's English, so it'd be a former Prime Minister of this country who said, never give up, never give up, never give up.
Fantastic. Thank you, great. John. You're a great guy.
Cheers.
Great to see you. And on the record, what's the story of the comeback? John? No.
Oh,
I met Michael, unfortunately, when I destroyed him on a Sky News interview. He was espousing some terrible right-wing, neoliberal, economic rationalist philosophy as I was trying to help build a better Australia. Australia for all, not just for the few.
House loses it.
Tickie, quite similar. Also a terrible neo-capitalist, neo-fascist, may I say.
Some would argue.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I fell in love with both of them.
They are
such beautiful people. They are lovable. Great speech, Tickie, as well. Incredible. Julia Gillard worthy.
All right. Well, Hal, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me, Leo.
Absolute huge admirer, and that tea diet, I tell you what, I cannot wait to be your 3rd husband. Love you, boss.
Justin, you're a clever, evil man. I love you. Thank you very much.
Pam, let's start off with this story about, you getting them together. Some would argue it was an evil Fairfax News Limited plot. Others would say lucky in love. How did it begin?
It began actually at a wedding, not mine, but somebody else's, Marion Wilkinson.
Marion Wilkinson.
And Marion, as she ran out as the bride on her honeymoon, she said, you have to get Stutch and Tickie together. And it was the bride's orders.
I had no hand in this very brilliant plan to get them together, but they are a perfect match. They're just a wonderful match. their eccentricities complement one another.
Freddie,
Come here, Freddie. Now we're going to say Freddie.
Freddie.
Freddie's
Fabulous
now,
Freddie.
Freddie,
Fabulous Freddie.
who's made us. Freddie, any message for your mother and your lovely new father?
Well, just keep on going.
Yes.
We agree it's an amazing thing and may they keep on going.
Yes, and I can't believe how happy they are together. And I have never seen, over 30 years, Stutch smile so much.
That's an exclusive.
It started with a conspiracy, of course.
Of course.
Of course it was a conspiracy of love. So, I had the plan, I was the planner, I was the strategist. Tickie and Stutch, perfect couple. Miss Pam was the executor. She was the one who had to put the plan into action. And we know Pam is a woman of action.
She is a woman of action.
And she made it happen.
Each day is Valentine's Day. Michael Stutch-Bree, thank you for coming all the way to England to marry me.